Hey everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. We're going to get started here momentarily. We're going to give those who registered for today's webinar just a few moments to get in, get settled, grab that bottle of water, maybe that extra cup of coffee if you need that extra little boost today, and we will get rolling. In the meantime, just for some housekeeping purposes, you can put your questions into the Q&A section of today's webinar. We have that being monitored, so we will have some representatives help you there. Brittany will be in there answering those questions as they come up as we go through, showing you how top agents and teams are absolutely dominating their market. So we'll go ahead and get started here in just one moment. Let's give those people who've registered for today's webinar just a few more minutes to get in, get settled, and we will get rolling. In the meantime, let us know that you can hear me loud and clear on your end by going over to the chat section. Let us know where you're tuning in from.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't.
Awesome. Well, it looks like the registrations are coming in. This is being recorded, so let's go ahead and get rolling with today's webinar. We're going to talk about how you can own your market, not just with Lofty Bloom, but how top agents and teams right now are absolutely dominating their market with these specific strategies, leveraging Lofty. Or the power of Lofty, I should say. So without further ado, let's talk a little bit about the full circle prospecting solution. Now, as an agent, you may have heard this already. Maybe you're already doing bits and pieces of this. Whatever the case might be, we're going to really kind of come full circle and combine it all and show you exactly how you can either A, create this automation on your own, or if you want it done for you, you can own your own market and have zip code exclusivity with Lofty Bloom. But what we're talking about today is on-demand postcards combined with digital retargeting and piggybacked with AI follow-up. So what that means is that we're completing the full circle prospecting system by, I guess, basically leveraging market activity in a specific zip code. So if you're an agent right now wanting to become super localized or hyper local and be that dominant agent in your neighborhood, the one thing that you should be doing, or two things that you should be doing, is leveraging market activity in that neighborhood for your own benefit. Now, this doesn't mean go and advertise somebody else's listing unless you have permission, but you should be leveraging those successes and wins other agents are having in that neighborhood to prospect or farm that community, that zip code, that neighborhood, whatever the scenario might be. And the way you do this is anytime there's a just listed or a just sold activity in that market, the natural consumer behavior is to have that light bulb go off and say, how does that affect my home's value? We see it all the time, right? Somebody lists their home up the street. The first thing, like the nearest 10 neighbors, 15 neighbors, and even 20 neighbors do are go straight to Zillow or realtor.com or go pull a flyer out of that box to see the actual value, see the inside, and actually compare their home to that property that just listed or even just sold. So the way that you're going to really kind of get your foot in the door is you're going to postcard farm those people, right? You're going to be that resource. You're going to have that proposition value displayed on that postcard that's going to say something like, scan this QR code to see how this home's value affects your home equity, right? So scan the QR code. You're going to drive them to some type of landing page or something along those lines. With Lofty Bloom, we're actually driving them directly to an opt-in. So they're getting prompted a text message, which I'll show you here in a minute, once they scan that QR code. So if you actually go and purchase Lofty Bloom, we're going to do all the heavy lifting for you, but we also have some more advanced strategies that drive more engagement and drive more opt-ins. So what you're going to do with Lofty Bloom is if you want to become a dominant agent, or if you want to become a dominant agent just with Lofty and you're sending those postcards, there's a couple ways that you can do this. If you're the DIY agent watching this webinar right now, you're probably going, hey, I want to do all this myself, which is absolutely fine because Lofty gives you the tools to do that. What you'll do is you'll actually create those postcards inside of Lofty Present, right? Or Print House, I should say. So in marketing, when you're in here, we have a Print House option for you where you can go and actually purchase, those list of homeowners nearest to that actual listing, and you can send just listed, just sold postcards with QR codes attached to them. Now, that QR code you're going to want to create a landing page for, right? Because you're going to redirect that traffic when they scan it. And the landing page that I would probably put a big emphasis on is like a featured area landing page or a what's my home worth landing page, right? You can create a home valuation landing page that has all sorts of fun, cool call to actions, and you can actually drive them to that landing page. Now, I know this probably sounds very cumbersome, but this is exactly what top agents and teams are doing to absolutely dominate their markets, right? They're actually going and leveraging that activity for their benefit to drive traffic. What they're then doing is to complete like the full circle prospecting is they're actually going ahead and they are doing that strategy of print farming, right? But they're also doing digital retargeting ads. So what they're doing now is not only do they have that postcard going out to homeowners nearest to that listing, they're actually retargeting those same homeowners by purchasing homeowner data in that zip code to basically create a custom audience on social platforms. So they're buying all that homeowner data to really be direct to the door marketing with those homeowners and know that they're not being isolated to a 15-mile radius or anything like that, right? So they're buying all those email addresses, all those phone numbers. They're creating those custom audiences in Facebook so that they can do that digital retargeting strategy where now not only are they getting their postcard in the mail, they're also now starting to see that agent come across their social feeds, highlighting that agent as the go-to local market expert, right? So we started with print farming. We're actually sending postcards to the nearest neighbors in probably your case there, or if you want to drill it down, you can buy homeowner data to send it to the nearest likely sellers, and then they're creating these digital retargeting ads to drive traffic back to, again, what's your home worth landing page, right? So they're typing in their address, they're getting their home valuation. Meanwhile, there's also the AI follow-up assistant that's ready to kickstart once they capture that lead. Now, this is something that you can absolutely go do on your own. Like I was just explaining, we have the landing pages you could drive them to. You could go to Print House and you can send just listed, just sold postcards, right, based off that activity. But it becomes very cumbersome. And that's where Lofty Bloom and where a lot of top agents and teams are now starting to gravitate towards is Lofty Bloom, because we're going to do all of that for you. So we're going to complete this full circle prospecting solution for you, and it's going to be exclusive, right? Meaning one agent per zip code. We don't sell market share, none of that stuff. But essentially, we have an automation created that monitors the activity for that zip code, meaning just listed, just sold, and we're actually sending postcards based off of that activity. So what's going to happen is we have this dynamic postcard that has an aerial view with a pin drop that says just listed, just sold. It also embeds the homeowner's first names onto the postcard, so it's very, very personalized. And also the QR code that we've created is a completely different experience than most other applications and systems out there, right? So the really cool thing about this is that as those just listed, just sold activities are happening, we're actually triggering these postcards to send about 20 per action or activity. And it's going to essentially um, identify likely sellers, right? So we're looking at data analytics to really kind of identify who is more of a likely seller, right? So we're looking at those key metrics of length of ownership, things along those nature to identify likely sellers. And that's who's going to get these postcards. So we're not just sending to 10 doors in each direction to satisfy that 20. We're trying to highlight and send and prospect most of the homeowners that have lived in the area for a greater length of period. Now, what happens when they scan the QR code is they're actually prompted. I'm going to go forward here. They're prompted to a text message, right? It pre-fills this text message with that home address already in that text message. And all they have to do is hit send. Now, if you were to do this on your own, unless you have some coding background or understand software systems, you could probably replicate what we're doing, but it's going to take an extensive amount of coding and so forth. But you also have the landing page that you could build, right? So if you're sending QR codes, if you're sending QR codes or putting QR codes on your postcards, you have the ability to direct them to a landing page. So if you're doing it on your own, this is probably the process that you'll follow, sending them to a what's your home worth. If not, we're actually driving more engagement. If you sign up for Lofty Bloom, we're driving way more engagement with this option here because it's pre-prompted, it fills in their information, and as soon as they click send, that's our opt-in notification to create them as a contact inside of your Lofty dashboard. So it has that ability to do that for you, right? So really cool option there as far as like the text message goes. And the really neat thing is that it actually redirects a link back to them once they send that text directly to a home valuation report. So they don't have to go to a landing page, type in their information, type in their phone number, email, so forth. It's going to give them the ability to get a link directly from your Lofty website that has that home valuation and has them logged in. So really cool option there. And then to complete this, like I said, we're going backwards, right? So we're going to also now do the retargeting. So we send the postcards, we add them to the custom audience. Now, not only do they have a feel it, see it, touch it experience with your postcard, your 6x9 postcard with nice finish, handwritten message on it, and a QR code on it, they're also starting to get your digital advertisements across Facebook and Instagram, right? So a really, really kind of all-inclusive packaged automation for you that most top agents are either A, doing on their own, or B, they're actually coming and purchasing Lofty Bloom right now because they're getting tired of trying to manage this system that they've maybe piecemealed together, right? So it's going to do the digital retargeting ads. Like I said, we're buying the homeowner data exclusively for that zip code. That's how we keep it exclusive. If you try and go and run this ad on your own, Facebook's going to say, hey, you have to do it for a 15-mile radius, right? So you're no longer exclusive to that zip code. So the really neat thing about this is we have all the emails, the phone numbers, and that's what we're leveraging to cross-platform match in Facebook to create these audiences that are going to now see your advertisement. So postcards are going out, sending up to 300 postcards per month. They're getting added to that custom audience and digitally retargeted so that now we're creating opportunities for you as the agent. Again, this is something that all top agents are doing and top teams are doing. And that's why if you see an agent dominating a market, meaning, they're getting 5+ listings every 6 months, if not more, in that zip code or that neighborhood, this is a strategy that they've deployed. All right. So, what makes a good zip code? I just want to kind of highlight some key metrics here. We have 80012 typed in here. If you're looking at Lofty Bloom right now and you're in marketing or in the marketplace, or actually marketing, and you go to Lofty Bloom down over off to the left, you could type in your zip code and check your metrics. So, what makes a good zip code, right? The first thing is the total allowable homeowners. Like, what is our TAM? How many people can we potentially prospect over a given period of time? We also look at the total listings for sale. So, how many listings over the last 12 months have been for sale? And we could see over 2,800 in this particular zip code. The other things that we're looking at, of course, is the absorption rate. A lot of our top performing zip codes are seeing an absorption rate around 20%, if not more. Absorption rate is just a matter of whether or not it's more of a buyer's or a seller's market. And then also your turnover rate, right? So what's the turnover there? We always like to identify how the potential for commissions at like a 2.5, 3% range against the total number of listings and the sales volume. So these are just metrics that we look at. We like to see total number of homeowners greater than 15 so that we're not becoming fixed with our advertisements, right? Meaning that now it's just becoming redundant. We're hitting the same homeowners over and over and over and over again. But the idea is that you need to stay top of mind. You need to continuously do these activities, right? Whether it's manually or it's done with Bloom. Bloom is just that automation that's going to do it for you. Set it and forget it. Approve the postcard copy the one time. We'll have your logo embedded, your image embedded, your all your contact details, and a return address as well. But the idea is that you're print farming based off of activity happening. You're sending just listed, just sold postcards, dynamic, like I was showing to the home. So, for example, this postcard right here will have a pin drop over the property that actually just sold or just listed, so that it's got a personalized touch, right? People are going to go, oh, that's the home around the corner, or that's up the street from us, because they could see those crossroads and it creates a reference for them. So this is a very, very smart strategy that's deployed completely automated for you, right? So how do you check your zip code, right? So if you head over to marketing and you go into Lofty Bloom down over off to the left, you'll most likely get shown a screen like this, and you can type in your zip code here. So you could go ahead and type in your zip code and see if it's available, not available. Again, make sure you pay attention to those key metrics. And if you're ready to actually talk to a representative, we just dropped a link into the chat section there. You can go in there and actually start booking your consultation with the representative to help navigate. But I also want to show you what you get on the back end with Bloom, because this goes into whether or not you deploy this exact strategy on your own, or if you sign up for Lofty Bloom or purchase a zip code. So with Lofty Bloom, we're going to give you all of the key metrics, right? So this is one of the benefits of actually having us do it for you versus you doing it on your own. We're giving you all the analytics that you'll need to really kind of digest, right? So total properties. And let me actually get this switched over to one that has more data. So the total number of properties, total number of homeowners that have been reached, engaged homeowners. And this is showing 0 because this is a demo account, but engaged homeowners would be and reflect the number of leads that you've generated from this strategy. The other really cool thing is we give you this heat map or aerial map showing you the just listed, just sold activity, right? So you're able to zoom in and see all of the activity that are actually triggering the automation to send postcards and also do that digital ads retargeting. The other thing that you're going to get is inside of campaign performance. So you're going to see the total number of homeowners reached. You're going to be able to really kind of hold us accountable as well on our end for the digital ads online, right? So you could see the number of clicks, your CTR, your leads. And then here's where most of the agents are seeing a lot of success, right? Because if you do this on your own, you have to have some sort of measurement of who's scanning my postcards, who's opting in. You have to have some sort of trackability. So what we're doing is we've created a hashtag called Lofty Bloom. We also have a source of whether it's Bloom postcard or Bloom Facebook. So you're able to kind of decipher where that traffic's coming from. The other really neat thing where a lot of agents are getting great success from is that in the direct mail, we're showing you the addresses who are receiving these postcards. So you can go into your just listed campaign and you can see all of those addresses that have had a postcard delivered. And where most agents are doing additional steps on top of like the print farming and the digital ad retargeting is you're able to see your scan activity. So maybe somebody scanned but didn't send a text message. That's a prime opportunity for a door knock, right? Because now you know that they had an intention of understanding their home's value. Maybe they were just a little skeptical on sending the text message because they didn't know exactly what they're opting into. But this is a prime opportunity to door knock, hand deliver a CMA, whether you use Lofty Present to actually print that in PDF format or whatever the case might be. But it creates that opportunity for you because you know those homeowners that are actually scanning that QR code, right? Again, this is something that all top agents and teams are doing right now, right? They might have this piecemealed together, meaning they're using like 3 or 4 different types of applications to automate this. Whereas Lofty, it's all encompassed into your Lofty dashboard. You have all your measurement and your metrics within Lofty, and it's really kind of intuitive in its own kind of way with the fact that it's baked into your system. So you don't have to go buy a postcard system. You don't have to go buy homeowner data from like your title or representatives or anything like that. It's going to be all encompassing and include all of that. So it's a really, really cool strategy. Like I said, this is something where if you want to check out your zip code, head into marketing, go into Lofty Bloom, click on that you'll land on this screen. If you don't have any Bloom currently, you could type in your zip code and check the availability. And then down at the bottom, you'll actually be able to schedule your demo as well. So we're sending up to 300 postcards. We have digital online retargeting ads running on both Facebook and Instagram. This is page length. So this is something I want to point out. We get this question quite often. So we're going to link to your Facebook page, Facebook business page, not personal page, Facebook business page, so that the brand awareness strategy of this method is 100% complete, right? So postcards have your brand, have your image. Your Facebook business page has your brand, has your image. So that's always going to stay top of mind, and that's what essentially they're going to remember, right? They're going to have gotten your postcard, put it in a junk drawer. No offense, they put it in the junk drawer, or it stays on the counter, stays in their car, stays in their visor, stays pinned to the refrigerator, and now you're coming across their social feed. So now you're completing that full circle prospecting solution. Again, you could do this all on your own with all the tools in Lofty. Like I said, the way you do that is you would send just listed, just sold postcards from Print House. You would have created a landing page to drive them to, right? So like a seller landing page, right? Where they land on that page from your link and it says, what's my home worth? They have to type in their address there to get their value, but the idea is the same. You'll then have to have set up like a Facebook pixel. So inside of your settings, or inside of your website, you want to have connected your Facebook pixel so that you could do that digital retargeting. But also you'll need to then go buy the homeowner data, right? So you'll need to buy the emails and phone numbers to create that custom audience inside of Facebook. So you can completely do this on your own. It's not you have to use Lofty Bloom. Lofty Bloom just makes it super simple and gives you the metrics so that you can measure your success with that strategy, right? So a very, very cool and effective way there. Brittany, I want to just maybe take some time and open it up to some Q&A and see if we have any Q&A coming in on your end or anything that you might want to add into here.
Well, I don't have anything in the Q&A at the moment.
Okay, cool. So we do or don't need Facebook. So if you're going to run this on your own, you'll want to make sure that your manager on both Facebook and Instagram are optimized. So you'll want to make sure that that's connected to your actual website, right? So you'll want to go into your website settings and get all of that connected so that if you are trying to deploy the strategy on your own, it's effective. So if we do it, we'll get all of it set up for you. Again, we're using that custom audience. So we're using all those emails and phone numbers to cross-platform match on Facebook and Instagram so that we can run that digital retargeting ad for you from your page. So when they see this ad, it's going to have your image, your Facebook business page, and so forth. So a really cool, effective way to really kind of run a full circle prospecting solution either on your own or with Lofty Bloom. Lofty Bloom, I will say, if you have any kind of question that or doubt that it might be a good fit for you, schedule your consultation using that link that was dropped in the chat, or you can go ahead and use the marketing Lofty Bloom inside of your dashboard to go ahead and schedule that demo, because they are exclusive, meaning that we're only selling one zip code per agent. So if another agent locks it in, then if you wanted to try and do the strategy, you might be doing it on your own or waiting until that zip code opens up. If it opens up, that's the big question. Um, so the ads are static, right? So we're gonna run a consistent ad basis of this what's your home worth, right? So that becomes static so that, again, as they're getting those postcards, as we're identifying those likely sellers based off those metrics of the number of years of ownership and stuff like that, we're going to be displaying these ads to them. So that same audience that's getting those postcards is going to see the digital ad. There's really no change in the ad unless our ads management team suggest any kind of like updates or edits to increase the performance. Great questions.
Another question, how many Facebook ads are included per month, Ernest?
Yeah, so that is that's going to be just the one ad, right? So we're going to run that one ad at a set budget that's already income baked into that price that you're seeing for Lofty Bloom. So that includes the postcards, the postage, the digital ads retargeting, and that advertisement that we're going to run. Zach, are we running multiple ads? Do you?
We
I
run
know you're on the.
a retargeting ad with the custom audience for the homeowner in that zip code. So we will generate homeowners in that zip code and then include them in something we call custom audience on Facebook and run this ad to them. Most likely there will be more than like 10,000 people in most of the zip codes, 10,000 plus. Some of the zip codes are below that. If needed, we can open up the ad to a prospecting ad also for the homeowners as well in that area to make sure everyone is covered and to make sure the full funnel strategy is completed by showing the digital ad along with the postcard to the homeowner in that area and increase the touch points with those clients in order to print the name and the brand name in their brain and then make the conversion for the agents way easier than just running individual digital ad or individual like separate postcards.
Yeah,
Yep.
great call out. We have one question here that I want to answer. Yes, you can set this up for a team. I will say, however, the print marketing itself will have the team logo, one agent photo, because it's going to come from your personal info in here. But what we could do is set it up to follow any kind of team routing rules and so forth that you have set. So if a postcard got scanned and an opt-in happened and it came in with, let's say, a Bloom postcard or Facebook Bloom tag, we could set it up to follow those team routing rules. Absolutely. I'm going to put us on this screen here just so that you all know where to go schedule that demo if you're ready to schedule the demo. Like I said, this isn't really something that's groundbreaking, earth-shattering, but this is something that top agents and teams are doing right now, whether or not they're using a fully automated system like Bloom or they've created it on their own. These are the exact step-by-step strategies that they're actually using in their business right now to absolutely dominate a market. So if you're ready to start owning your market, go ahead and schedule that demo. I'm gonna go ahead and leave us on this screen. Zach, anything you want to add here while we wait, just to make sure there's no last minute questions? If not, I want to thank everybody for their time today and allowing us the opportunity to show you exactly step by step what these agents are doing to dominate their market.
No, thank you so much. Thank you, Ernest. Actually, this is a good opportunity for a full funnel strategy, and this is work on the long term to dominate your zip code. So it's a good strategy for anyone who would like to have their brand out there and also generate some leads from these campaigns, build their audience in that zip code. This is the perfect product on the market now for doing that. But thank you so much. Thank you, Ernest.
Yeah, thank you all. I'm gonna stay on this screen. We'll stay in the background just to answer some Q&A from those questions rolling in. Thanks, everyone.
All right, Brittany, all questions are answered in the chat.
Looks like yes.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. Please click the link, save it, go check your zip code and schedule a demo with us, and we will explain to you, we'll find the best way and the best zip code fits what you need exactly for this package. Let us know. You can schedule a call, and one of our digital marketing expert will hop on a call with you and help you with your strategy, help you find out if this is a good product for you, and take it from there. Thank you so much, everyone, and you have a great, wonderful day. Bye-bye.